Highguard came as quickly as it went, but as a game I found myself enjoying when the matchmaking isn't horrible, despite the negative buzz around it. Is it a great game? No. But I don't think it deserved the fate it has been resigned to after the Game Awards reveal debacle. I'll admit, I definitely wasn't planning on making the second episode in the How to Complete series about Highguard, and you could probably say that I'm clout chasing or capitalizing on its downfall or whatever. While that's not entirely false, I do think the game has its good moments, and would like to look at this opportunity as a way to preserve its memory before it inevitably gets shut down. Before that happens, I'll be going over how to get every achievement in Highguard so that you can also 100% the game while it's still alive and kicking. Welcome to How to Complete, a show where I break down exactly how to 100% complete a game efficiently while avoiding any pitfalls along the way. It's been a while since I recorded for the last episode of the show, which was in October of 2025, sorry for taking so long on that episode, but it is finally done and released, and I'm extremely grateful for all the support being shown for the video, and I've learned a lot about how to improve for the future. So thank you again to anybody who's watched it, please go give it a watch if you haven't. Since Highguard is an online multiplayer shooter, you could draw the conclusion that there's not really any in-game completion percentage to go for. But the game has achievements, so we're going to talk about everything you need to know to unlock all of them. Highguard has a total of 32 achievements, ranging from very easy to very specific. In order to unlock them all, you will need to complete the tutorial, win 20 matches, play 5 games as each original class of playable characters, perform various actions related to core gameplay a number of times, get kills with certain restrictions, win matches with certain restrictions, and do all of this as quickly as possible before the game is no longer available. After completing the game's tutorial, you are going to have to play at minimum 25 games of Highguard to get every achievement, since you need to play 5 games as each original Warden class, of which there are 5. Although if I'm being honest, it will definitely take you more than 25 games to get everything. Let's just start with general achievements unlocked for playing the game normally. For the A True Warden of Highguard achievement, you will need to win 20 raid mode matches. This is just the name that they use for the main game mode. Every game you play is a raid mode match, just to be clear. Along the way, we will obviously have to complete at least 20 matches, so we will unlock the achievements for completing 1 and 10 raid mode matches too. And, as mentioned earlier, we need to complete 5 matches as each original Warden class, which will give us 5 more achievements, 1 for each class. So, as you are going for your wins, make sure to cycle through the various classes and get the achievement for each one. I'm specifically saying original Warden classes because, as of now, there are actually 6 classes in the game, with the newest character, Econ, being a part of this new class. There is no achievement tied to completing matches as him, just to be clear. As you rack up your wins, you will perform various actions as a part of normal gameplay that will build up more achievement progress. These include the Soulmate achievement for reviving a teammate once, the Plunderer achievement for opening and taking loot from 15 chests in a single match. You actually do have to take the loot from the chests for it to count. The Legendary Armaments achievement for equipping 3 legendary items in a single match. The Breaking and Entering achievement for planting the Shield Breaker 1 time. This is used to start a raid on the enemy's base, and you have to be the one to physically plant the Shield Breaker, it can't be one of your teammates. The Shock and Awe achievement for using your character's ultimate ability 3 times in a single match. The Pocket Full of Vesper achievement for buying 10 rare or better items from the vendor in a single match. The Lord of Destruction achievement for destroying 20 walls. The Soul Eater achievement for destroying 30 enemy soul orbs. These spawn when you kill a player and denies that player from being revived. The Slow Blade Penetrates the Shield achievement for planting a Dome Splitter on an enemy base 1 time. Like the Shield Breaker, you also have to be the one to do it. The Animal Control achievement for eliminating 20 enemy mounts. The Saboteur achievement for planting bombs on 20 generators in an enemy base. Again, you have to be the one to plant it, not teammates. And the Cord Cutter achievement for defusing 20 generators in your own base. You can assume that you have to be the one to do it. I grouped all of these achievements together because they are all things that you will be doing just by naturally playing the game. You don't really have to go out of your way to make any of these things happen, you'll just make progress and unlock these achievements without even realizing it. In contrast, the next two groups are what I would call challenge achievements, where you have to either get kills or win matches in specific ways. These are the ones that I think you will have to go out of your way to unlock, since the requirements want you to play the game in a certain way. There are 5 achievements related to winning matches while also meeting some harder requirement. These are Protocol 3, which wants you to win one match in under 12 minutes and has an extra requirement of one person on your team never dying. This sounds tough, but is actually the most common of this group of achievements. You'll probably get this unintentionally while going for some of the other ones. Go for Broke, which wants you to win 5 matches where you spent at least 77 Vesper at the vendor. Also not too bad, just have to focus on farming Vesper a bit more and hoping that you win those matches. Overwhelming Force, which wants you to win 5 matches in under 10 minutes. This will go hand in hand with the next achievement, One Shot, One Kill, which wants you to win 5 matches where the only generator destroyed is the Anchor Stone. Destroying a team's Anchor Stone instantly ends the match, so this is what you want to go for to also win in under 10 minutes. And finally, Perfectly Balanced, which wants you to win 5 matches without entering overtime. Overtime happens if both teams take too long to plant the shield breaker after it spawns. Overall, these aren't too terrible, but basically all of them revolve around curb stomping the enemy team, so you'll have to hope you get lucky with the matchmaking, squad up, or get even luckier and load into a match where the enemy team all disconnect. This helped me a lot, by the way. 5 more achievements are related to killing enemies with an added requirement. These are Lambs to the Slaughter, which wants you to wipe the enemy team, which just means eliminate every enemy, during overtime 10 times. This actually happens pretty naturally, but I'm putting it in this group since this specifically has to happen during overtime. It also contradicts all of the achievements where you have to win fast, so if you play a game where that isn't going to happen, try your best to wipe the enemy team during overtime. Our Last Stand, which wants you to wipe the enemy team as the last person alive on your team once during overtime. This doesn't mean that you have to kill every enemy on the opposing team as the last person alive, you just need to secure the team wipe as the last person alive. Heavy Cavalry, which wants you to eliminate 10 enemies while riding your mount. Pretty self-explanatory, just keep in mind that you need to get credit for the kill, assists won't count. This applies to the rest of these achievements as well. Blade vs. Bullet, which wants you to get 10 kills with your axe, which is your melee weapon and tool that you use to break walls and mine Vesper. And Send Their Regards, which wants you to kill 77 players with legendary weapons specifically. Apparently, Scarlet's ultimate also counts toward this total. I guess they consider her blades to be legendary weapons. All of this brings us to our final 30-second achievement, which is kind of miscellaneous and not really related to anything I've talked about thus far. It will also require the most explanation. The final achievement, Suppressive Fire, is the rarest achievement in the game and is unlocked by destroying 3 iron walls with the Big Rig LMG weapon in a single match. What does all this mean, and why is this achievement so hard to get? Well, the Big Rig LMG is a special weapon that can only be picked up from an airdropped crate, which gets dropped after a raid has concluded. So, first of all, you need to get through one raid successfully, and then be one of the 6 or 10 people in the match that lives and picks up the LMG from the airdrop. Then, if you manage to pick up the weapon, you need to destroy 3 iron walls with it, which are walls that have been reinforced. They look kind of grayish purple. Destroying one wall with the gun takes a good amount of ammo, on top of the ammo for the gun also being pretty limited to begin with. On top of that, if you die while carrying the Big Rig, you will drop it, and lose it if you respawn without being revived. So, you need to be lucky enough to pick up the weapon, survive long enough for a raid to happen, and save basically all of your bullets for shooting at reinforced walls. All this together makes it quite difficult to actually pull this achievement off. And, as I will discuss shortly, there may be some extra wrinkles added into the mix with this achievement. This will be the hardest achievement to unlock in Highguard, and is definitely the most annoying, poorly designed one on this list. The rest will come pretty naturally as you play more of the game. Just do your best to make progress towards some of the more challenging achievements, and if you get a chance, give your best shot at unlocking the Big Rig achievement. The first thing I'm going to mention for this section is something that is ambiguous on whether or not it's a glitch, and may be fixed as of this recording. Earlier I mentioned that the game calls its main game mode Raid Mode. The normal version of Raid Mode has the player count set to 3 versus 3. Shortly after the game's launch, though, the developers added a 5 versus 5 raid mode in response to player feedback. When this game mode first released, it seemed like any achievement progress made playing this mode didn't actually count. I think this issue may have been resolved as of the time I'm making this. I may have had an achievement unlock while playing 5v5, I don't remember which one it was. But if you want to be safe, you can stick to 3v3 only to unlock every achievement. Also, while doing research for this video, it seems that a few achievements may have misleading or glitched unlock requirements. The first one is Blade vs. Bullet, the one where you have to get 10 melee kills. According to some players online, if you're playing Highguard on Xbox, you actually need to get 20 kills instead of 10. However, while playing on Steam, I was also having issues unlocking the achievement. I definitely had more than 10, and maybe even 20, melee kills, and the achievement still wouldn't pop. But it seems like what got it to finally unlock was going for thrown axe kills instead. Along with killing people with a melee using your axe, you can throw your axe at enemies, and this will also count as a kill toward this achievement. The last game that I played, I got 3 thrown axe kills, and that was what finally got the achievement to unlock for me. So, that may be what actually gets the counter to go up. For the next one, we're going back to the Big Rig achievement. Again, the requirement is to destroy 3 iron or reinforced walls with this gun. However, it seems like there is an issue with which reinforced walls actually count towards this achievement. From my understanding, the walls you destroy have to be reinforced by someone on the opposing team. This means that you can't just destroy 3 walls that your team is reinforced. But even then, it's still unclear, as some people have reported that even destroying enemy reinforcements doesn't work 100% of the time. Some have also reported a third option as being viable. Around each of the possible maps, there are loot caches that are blocked off by a reinforced wall. These walls start reinforced and are not made reinforced by any players in the game, so these walls could potentially give progress. However, I tested this method and it unfortunately did not work after destroying 4 of these walls with the Big Rig in a single match. It may have when the game first launched, but it seems like it has been patched out. So, I think you're going to have to only shoot walls reinforced by enemies. I managed to do this in one game, and it worked for me. Moving on to One Last Stand, while trying to go for this achievement, I got an enemy wipe as the last man standing, but the enemy team's health was low enough that it secured the victory and won us the game. I guess if you wipe the enemy team but you win off of it, it doesn't actually count as an enemy wipe. So I had to get it again when it wouldn't win the game for us. Then it finally popped. I managed to just cheese this achievement. I was with a group of 2 other people when there was 1 person left on the enemy team. I just had those 2 people on my team walk up to the enemy and let themselves die to him, and then I secured that last kill while he was distracted. Finally, regarding the 2 generator-related achievements, some people are reporting that you will only get progress for planting or defusing the A and B generators, and that the anchor stone doesn't count. Furthermore, it is unclear if the generator you plant a bomb on has to detonate for progress to be made. So, if you do plant, try your best to secure the explosion just to be safe. In my experience, it seems like that this is the case, and that you have to plant on A and B, and they have to blow up. The last thing that I'll say is that this isn't a bug, but most of the achievement descriptions say that the achievements will be awarded on match completion. So don't freak out if something doesn't unlock right away. The unlock timing should happen when the victory or defeat UI flashes on the screen as the losing side's base blows up. If the achievement you were expecting to unlock doesn't at this point, then something might be wrong. No matter what you think about the game, I am sad to see Highguard not be given a proper chance to resonate with a core audience that would stick with it long term. My heart goes out to all of those who were affected by the recent layoffs at Wildlight, and for now at least, the game is still up and running. So, for anyone that does still want to play it, hopefully this video has helped you gain a better understanding of how to tackle all of the achievements, and you can get your platinum before it is gone forever. The purpose of these videos is not really to give my opinion on the games that I cover, but what I will say is that the game has its good moments and can be genuinely fun in some circumstances. There are genuine things to criticize about the game, like the company being backed by Tencent, laying off a bunch of its studio, and some inherent game design flaws that I don't agree with. But I still think that everybody should give the game a fair shot instead of just hating on it blindly. Once again, my heart goes out to all the people that were affected by layoffs, and I hope that you all are able to bounce back and find jobs quickly in the games industry. I know how hard it is right now. Thank you for watching this episode of How to Complete. Let me know in the comments if any of you have had a hard time getting any of the achievements, or if you have any other tips and tricks that I didn't go over in the video. Be on the lookout for future episodes, and if you want to see what I'm currently playing, follow me on Twitch at ZorfioTTV. It'll give you a hint as to what games get covered in the future. I'm trying my best to hit 100 followers on Twitch before my 1-year streaming anniversary, and it would be awesome and very appreciated if I could hit that goal. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode of How to Complete.